In 1981, 32-year-old Issei Sagawa was living in Paris, studying comparative literature at the Sorbonne. During his time there, he became deeply obsessed with a 25-year-old Dutch classmate named René Hartevelt. Sagawa later admitted he was incredibly insecure about his own physical appearance. Standing at just 4'9" tall, he found himself intensely attracted to René's height, health, and beauty, desiring, in his own words, to absorb her energy. On the evening of June 11, 1981, he finally acted on his dark fixation and invited Hartevelt over to his apartment. He lured her there under the innocent pretense of translating German poetry together for an upcoming class. But as she sat at a wooden desk quietly reading the poetry aloud, Sagawa retrieved a small rifle. Without warning, Sagawa stepped up behind his classmate and shot her directly in the back of the neck. Over the course of the next 2 days, the cramped student apartment became the backdrop for an absolute nightmare. Sagawa engaged in horrific acts of necrophilia and began to cannibalize various parts of her body. To document the grim crime, he even systematically took photographs throughout the entire gruesome process. When it came time to cover his tracks, he packed her remaining body parts into 2 heavy, vintage suitcases. He hailed a taxi and drove to the Bois de Boulogne Park, attempting to dump the heavy bags deep in the thickets. However, alert passersby noticed his highly suspicious behavior in the park, and the suitcases were quickly discovered. The taxi driver easily helped police trace the drop-off back to Sagawa's apartment, where pieces of the victim were still found stored inside his refrigerator.